Say kids, what time is it? PDR tool time. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Toledo, your co-host, along with John Hiley, Daniel Grom, and Vince D'Alessandro on PDR Tool Time. Today we have a special guest, Jeremy Langton from Dent Technology. He first came on the scene publicly, debuting at Mobile Tech Expo in 2014 with his unique PDR light called the Moon Light, along with other very cool products like the titanium tips, hammers, and knockdown tips. Dent Technology soon was the up-and-coming newcomer in the PDR tool industry. However, there have been some setbacks since then. We're here to bring on Jeremy and give him the mic to clear up the air, what went on, and how he's coming back with a new and improved Moonlight. Please welcome Jeremy Langton from Dent Technology.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, Jeremy?
Hi. Hey, guys. Hey, Jeremy.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem, man. So let's get right into it. I mean, I know we all have some questions for you, and I know you're here. You got a lot to say about things, and how did you handle the your challenges that you had?
We sold a couple hundred lights, and out of those couple hundred, we had 20, 25 guys that weren't happy. And you're gonna have that in anything you make. At first, when I made the light, I was super excited about the concept and about, what I was more tuned into the concept and making a solid light, but I was more focused on the concept. And when I got the lights back, I loved them. I thought they were great. I wasn't even thinking of the weight the whole time. I didn't look at the big picture. And thinking back now, I think, wow, they were way too heavy. Some components were falling apart. So that all goes with manufacturing and building something. You don't know until you get a couple hundred out there. Then you start finding out the real problems. I mean, you can do R&D with you and a couple of your buddies, but until you get a couple hundred lights out, you start finding out things that you didn't know were going to happen.
Right.
So all I could do was come in and make a far superior unit, change everything about it,
Well, what do you as you revitalized the newer Moonlight, what did you do to this version to make it right or much better compared to the old one?
So basically, we changed the whole entire light, everything about it. Besides for the dimensions and the shape, we changed the material. We changed the way it's put together. We changed the way the tracks go in. We changed the buttons. We changed the back harness. Basically, we redesigned the whole entire light. It's a brand new light. It's a couple pounds lighter, which a couple pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when you put it on a stand. I don't know, a lot of guys, I made a Periscope the other day showing the new light on a stand at the very end of the boom and taking the battery off and, it not falling over whatsoever. So that kind of goes to show you the weight difference on, the new one, which, what's
the casing of the new one made of?
The casing's made of ABS, a thick ABS, and everything's basically plastic welded. It's not glued. We use an adhesive that welds it together. It basically almost heats up and bonds it to where it's never coming apart. I mean, you can do whatever you want with this thing. It's not. And we've been using them for about 6 months now, but I wasn't going to come out, like I said, learning my lesson before, I wasn't going to come out without knowing for a fact what's going to happen,
Right.
And testing all kinds of different things. So
now when I saw the first one, you did have one thing on there that I thought was really clever, is the way you can interchange the strips, the light strips inside.
Yeah.
Is that still the same?
Yeah, the tracks will still be in there. The only problems we had with the tracks last time is how we were putting them in there and the way we were bonding them to the polycarbonate, which is polycarbonate's extreme hard material to work with. But now they're plastic welded and they'll never come out. So that's something I have patented, that track system, and that's also in A1's lights, and it'll be in our new lights as well. I'll always have that just for the convenience. But the way it's set up now is different too. It's just much easier to interchange them than it was before. So that is still in play, and I can't believe more lights don't have that because I really like it. You got, sometimes.
No, I think it was a good idea.
I mean, if you want to try a new color, it's hard to buy a whole light with that color that you might never use again. You know, you can slide it right in, slide it right out. If you get a little hot spot where a bulb's burn out, you know.
What about, how many LEDs go across that?
It's basically got 12 tracks in it, but you only have 6 switches. So you can put up to 6 LEDs, but there's 12 different tracks to choose from. So you're spacing, you know, you can put them close together, you can put them far apart, you know, wherever you want.
Oh, cool.
Some people put 3 together and make one big, huge, fat line across it. You know, it just depends on whatever the tech wants.
Or a Mike Toledo Dent Time line board version. So.
You know, yeah, absolutely. You never know.
So basically, you have 12 tracks. You can choose 6 out of those 12 at a time.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, a lot of guys only use 3 lights. You know, that's the main. We set them up as warm, cool, warm. That's how they're sold. If you want to add lights, you can. But for the most part, you know, some guy, you know, you put 6 strips in. Some guys might only ever use 1. Some guys still just use 1 strip. You know, it just depends. So they're set up with 3, but you can put up to 6.
Are there going to be different versions of your new Moonlight? Or are you just going to have one set model?
Oh no, we have big plans, and I don't know what part of the show we're going to get into that on, but you know, I got some new investors, I got some new partners. Part of the whole problem with the Moonlight last time was, you know, I trusted someone, and I all the tools was what I was control of, and we didn't have many problems with them. I put all of that into someone else's hands, which I'm taking the blame, and I, you know, but I put that in someone else's hands and let them do that, and this is kind of what we got. So we split ways. I got new partners, new investors. I mean, we're coming out super, super, super strong with lots of cool stuff. And some of the stuff I'll talk to you about and show you that we got coming out. Some of the stuff I'm not going to say just because I don't want it to be there when I get to MT next year. So
well, you can show it to us because nobody's going to see it.
Oh, people can only listen to this?
Yes.
Oh, I thought people were gonna see live on the
No. We kind of, well, we do either way, but technically we're just letting people listen to what you have to say,
okay.
and you can describe what you're saying, but nobody's gonna actually see it.
Right.
So,
well, we talk about
but we are going to take pictures. You're going to send us some pictures of this because we are going to put it on our blog with the podcast, so people, when they go to the blog, pdrtooltime.com, they'll be able to look and reference what you're talking about.
Absolutely. So. And those will be over soon because I just got the new photo shoot booth deal where we can take pictures of all our tools and it'll look real professional, you know, on the website and stuff like that.
Now, Jeremy, what are some of the most important personal satisfactions and the dissatisfactions connected with your company, obviously including the Moonlight? I mean, what were some of those biggest things that you went through, that both positive and negative?
Well, I guess we can start with negative. You know, we got a little premature with stuff. Like I said, and we came out with, I think it was 18 tools at one time. You know, I wasn't in the tool business before. It just happened, you know, and so the biggest part of me was, you know, I've never had a problem with anyone in my life. Anyone knows I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'll take care of anybody, from family to friends to people I don't know. And all my life, I've never been bashed. I've never been, you know, ridiculed and stuff like that. And some of these guys are ruthless online. If you guys haven't noticed, they're pretty roguish. Yeah. And it was hard for me because I'm sitting here spending all my time and money and you know, trying to come out with something nice. And I felt like I said, with all the people that bashed me and had stuff to say, I also had, you know, 10 times that liked it. And I got plenty of good feedback and stuff like that. Like I said, I still got guys using those same lights right now. It's just that, it was hard. It was hard on somebody, you know, but you got to keep your head up. You got to keep going. And that's why I said, you know, we're not going to stop. Everyone liked the concept. A guy actually from Germany is making them now, and they're selling the hell out of them over there. People are understanding, you know, more of the concept than just, but you still got to have the quality. If you're going to charge that much for a light, I mean, there's got to be good craftsmanship. And I learned a hard lesson. I learned it the very hard way. And a lot of people told me to do things different. And I kind of went my own way, and you know, this is what I got. But the only thing I can do is come out with a brand new light, take care of all the people who bought a light before, which we are going to do as well. And we can talk about that a little later. But well, positive side, you know, I'm making tools and I'm bringing things to the industry that people have never seen before.
That's what I was just going to say.
Like our tap downs. I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't have it. it saves so much time. And, you know, like the titanium, I know a couple other companies got that now. I was the original, but the titanium saves time. It works well. It's just I like helping people, and I like building tools, and I like bringing new products in the industry. And people don't understand, you don't get rich off this. This costs a lot of money, just like your guys' microphones and all the stuff you guys do and the tools the Grom makes. So that stuff takes a lot of time and money and energy. And sometimes people don't, if you're not on that back side of it, you don't respect it or understand it, you know?
Right. Well, I think Vince wanted to chime in on here. Now, you just said something like that, Vince, and you were kind of sticking up for the PDR tool companies before we even got on here. What were you saying, Vince?
Yeah, well, that's what I notice on Facebook a lot, and all the social media aspects of it is all the people bashing not just the Moon Light, but customer service at a company because they didn't respond within 5 minutes of having an issue with the problem. I think there's unrealistic expectations of a lot of the PDR guys out there. They don't know that majority of the guys out there, they're part-time tool makers.
Absolutely.
It's not their full-time gig. They're out there pushing hail. They're doing door dings or whatever. They have lives. They have families to take care of. And if they can't answer your question, within a few minutes on Facebook, they're out there bashing you. I think it's an unfair thing to the tool guys that are out there. I think it's a rotten thing to do.
And like I said, until you're on the backside, and I look at these guys like, if you guys only knew, I'm madder than you guys are. It's you guys. It's just until you're on the backside, and like I said, anything, you're always gonna have somebody say something about something. That's social media, and that is just how it goes. But the snowball effect and the train it creates on social media is unfair, I think, as well.
You know what? I think social media is a two-edged sword where it can work for you or against you. And
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things I'm noticing as a tool maker, if you put your name on a product now, you can almost shame somebody else in if they copied that tool, and you can shame them on social media. We saw an example of that recently, and I think that's good. It keeps people from stealing other ideas, and that's probably one of the biggest fears of a tool maker.
Well, even Daniel, I remember when the Moon Light came out, you were mad. You were mad because you've been working on that concept for ages yourself.
I was.
You didn't go on social media.
Yeah, I don't think he was mad.
He was probably disappointed.
I remember
it came out sooner.
I remember going to MTE and Mike saying, "Hey, go talk to Daniel. He has something to show you." And it was a curved light that he had been making for a long time before I ever started. It was even thinking of the idea. And
I started working on it for motorcycle tanks, thinking that it would work really well on a motorcycle tank. And then I did make a prototype, and then I started using it on cars. But you had jumped way, way ahead of where I was at in the R&D on it, and so I had to bow down to you and say, "Hey, yeah, you got a good idea." And
it was only by mistake, believe me. Yeah.
Well,
But
go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The thing is with the copying of the tools, it's just, you got to be careful. Like, I'm careful what I say now and what I make, and you got to be careful on what tools you make, because I was going to make these door hook tools the other day. I don't know if you guys ended up watching my Periscope, but I was going to make some door hook tools that I got some really cool bins, but it's too easy for a tech to go put it in a vise and bend the ones that are already there, and do it themselves. And, kind of like the cold glue, that is something, and whatever, it's something that basically anybody could create very quickly and start coming out with. So I try to stay in the little niche deals, like the things that are expensive, like titanium, stuff like that. It took me a long time to source to sell it cheap enough to even bring to the market, and I try to stay in niche areas that it's kind of harder to copy. But
yeah, well, we're going to go back to some of your forward-thinking products, which I got a question on that. But before that, we should have asked you in the beginning, why does PDR tool making interest you, and how did you get started? What made you just start getting into those tools, Jeremy?
Well, I'd worked with some guys that got me into this whole deal, just doing PDR in general, and we've always messed with tools and bending stuff different ways. And there's, everyone's always making their deal, something better that they think and stuff like that. You can always put a little trick to something. But what happened was I had the idea of the light, and we used it for a long time, and then my partner used it, and now he won't ever use anything else. And I said, well, I want to come out with this light. I think we should do it. And I don't want to do it if I can't get the patent for it, because I figured then everyone else is going to come out with it. And I can't compete with big business. I'm a small guy here, So we ended up being able to get a patent in the industry for any curved lighting, utility and design. So I said, let's do it. Let's make this. And so we made the light. Well, along with the light, we had a bunch of other ideas, and I had a guy that had already made some tools. And so I said, let's take these tools, my idea. I had 4 or 5 other tools I want to come out with, like the edge tool, the tap downs, the titanium tips and stuff like that. And I just said, let's just do it. Let's do it and see what happens. And we had some good feedback. We got it out there. A lot of people still, some of our tools come from a tool company that was around for a while. I don't know if you guys have heard of Sonic Dents, but they were around since 2010, but nothing ever happened with the company. They made a bunch of good, nice tools, but they never did anything. So I ended up acquiring that company and taking their tools, tweaking some, making some different, and basically just rolling with it. And then every idea we came out with afterwards, we put the money back in, made a new tool, and then now it's evolved. I think we have like 25 different tools of our own, or part numbers, I should say, tips, stuff like that. And then the new light, and we're coming out with straight lights. We're coming out with
normal lights.
Yeah, straight lights. I say like it's something different. Normal PDR lights that are just they're going to be well priced and really nice unit. It's going to be kind of like the new Moon Light except straight. And we got some other big plans. We got a lot of carbon fiber stuff coming out. Light stand.
Well, that's what I was saying.
I can go on for days, but I don't want to,
Well, you have, Jeremy, we all know that you have some very, very forward thinking on about your ideas and products. How do you go from idea to concept? I mean, where does that start from?
It takes a while, and that's what anyone else knows, is it takes a long time. Some of these concepts we've been working on for a year now and still trying to figure out some stuff. But what it takes is time and money. I mean, anything you think of, you want to make it come to life, you can, but you better have, some money and some time to spend on it. But what we do is I come up with an idea and have a prototype made and just go from there, and narrow it down to something that I like and that's perfect. And
well, I'm sure you got like 10. You got probably 10 tools in your ideas in your idea box. Do you take the 3 priority and work on those at a time, or
right? Like we have a year. We have different goals. We have a 6-month goal, and right now we have a year goal. So our 6-month goal is to come out with these certain tools, and the other ones are going to take about a year. So exactly, matter of fact, a couple nights ago we had a meeting and we picked from the 7 tools. Because like I said, it costs money, and it costs a lot of money to make. What tools do we want to come out with immediately, and what tools do we want to have ready for MTE?
Right.
So, and this is how far you have to start thinking about MTE next year. I mean, it's a year away. It just happened, and you've got to start planning right now to make everything right, And last time we put it all together in a couple months, I've learned my lesson over the years, over the year of what to do, what not to do, how to do it, how not to do it. And I'm still going to learn. And, any company that's in the industry will make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not doing something right. But it's not the mistakes you make. It's what you do to correct the mistakes.
Yeah.
And, as a person and as a company.
Well, I'm sure we all can learn, based on what you're experiencing, what you're sharing, because Daniel, he's in the MPDR tool vise thing, and he's on a 2nd generation. You got John Hiley coming out with something pretty cool in the next few months. Really cool.
John Hiley is actually periscoping right now.
Yeah, is he? Yeah. And, I've had my pitfalls here and there. I mean, different things like that. I'm not nearly what you guys are doing, though, but, I'm more like little small time stuff. I'm more into video production stuff, but.
Well, so you can only imagine.
You're the king of the video.
Yeah. I mean, but, it's just, things are, I'm sure you learned a lot of changes or challenges in what you're doing. If you had to start tool making all over, Jeremy, what would you change? We'll be right back to hear what Jeremy says after this commercial break. I always preach PDRs like mixed martial arts. You have to know how to be a black belt in all categories. At Dent Trainer, you can improve your skills no matter what skill level you are as a PDR technician. We have all the latest video tutorials that are described in extreme detail with diagrams and clear explanations. Let's say you're a route tech and you want to branch out into the hail. First thing you'll want to know is how to write a proper estimate. Or perhaps you're curious about the line board and want to become better at reading that particular reflection. Or maybe what's up with the new cold glue? We have it at Dent Trainer. Check it out. Memberships start as low as $59 per month. And right now, you can sign up for 6 months for only $179. Become a Dent Trainer member. You'll be glad you did. What's the main priority?
Everything.
Well, name one thing right off the bat.
Well, what advice would you give to
I would say,
other guys that are wanting to get into tool
for
making?
the guys, anyone that thinks they're going to get in the industry, first of all, it's not as easy as it sounds, and you're going to go through some hard times. There's going to be challenges, and that's all there is to it, unless everything goes perfect your way, which some people it might. But you need to know that it's not easy. And if I was to go back, I would do a lot of things different. But you know what? I'm glad some of the things happened the way they did, because that's what's making us go further and be stronger and make better products. And I feel like if this didn't happen, maybe I wouldn't have a new light. Maybe I just have the same old thing, and so in a way,
Well, a lot of tool companies, small tool companies like yourself, they would probably take that, the big challenge that you had and quit. Go, that's it, But you
and a lot of people have.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And you have perseverance, and you basically took some of your challenges, or what we'd call a little bit of failure,
right,
and built it towards your big success. I mean, you wouldn't be successful if you don't fail. And that's what a lot of people are afraid of. If you're afraid to fail, and this is in life and anyways, if you're afraid to fail, then you're afraid to succeed.
You hit it on the head right there, because that's exactly right. And some people would just, hang their hat up and say, I'm done. And that's what because it's a hard industry to be in. But I said, there's no way, we got the concept. There's too many people that like it. Yeah, some people aren't happy with the workmanship and the quality, but we're going to take care of those people. And it's my first light. It's the first light we came out with, it's the first light. I mean, I'm sure you can ask Hewlett or Old Steve or any of these guys they've all came out with 10 lights by now. You evolve, and I'm sure they had problems with the first lights and stuff like that. So everyone has their first lights and keeps going. I mean, we have plans on our third light already, but it takes time,
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm sure John Hiley's got some enlightenment for you on that, dude. Come on, John Hiley, give us some insight here.
Oh,
man.
yeah. I was waiting to chime in here. I actually just did a Periscope here, was showing everybody what we were doing and when to expect this episode to come out. But one of the things that I think everybody has to realize, no matter when you jump into any market where you're going to be in front of, your peers, social media, stuff like that, is that I call it the 33.3% rule, where literally 33.3% of people are going to love you right off the bat. Okay? Awesome. Great. 33.3% of people are going to hate you right off the bat. They're just not going to like you. They're not going to jive with you. They don't connect with you. And your job is to, there's another group there, 33.3% of people. There's a third
I know
group
what
there,
the other group is.
and your job is to sway them in your direction, is to sway them to like you. And, people have different approaches that they do that. And, I think where people really lose their following is the arrogant bastard approach. You know what I mean? So if you come with the arrogant bastard approach, you've only got 33.3% that's going to like you. The other 60-some% are gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
John.
I think, John, I think that's a great point. And Jeremy, I think I commend you for actually coming on the show as our first guest, where Steve was going to be on too, but he came on. He's going to come on tomorrow. But dude, I just want to say thanks a lot. What a class guy. You come in here, face the music, and you got in here and you said how it is, man. I mean, geez, I applaud you on that, man.
I appreciate it, but And there's so many rumors and stuff going on Facebook. I wanted to get out there and tell these guys what's going on, what we're doing. You know, we're not going anywhere. I guarantee that. If anything, we're coming out 10 times stronger. Because like I said, we got the right team now that's just, it's really going to change. And yeah, these guys deserve it. You know, these guys that like my products and still buy it deserve, you know, a good explanation and to know what's going on. So
yeah,
it's only fair.
Hey, Jeremy, one of the tools that I use on a daily basis and absolutely love, and I couldn't do without, is what I call the Plasteel tips. I coined that, and but it's the peak tips.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
You know, that came about. You want to know how that came about? I'll tell you how that came about. I don't even know if I want to tell you how that came about. Basically, I was shown that by a guy that uses it. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy named Jeremy Taylor.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
You guys know who Jeremy Taylor is, right? Who don't know who Jeremy Taylor is, right? Well, he does the 10 tattoos.
Yeah. We're gonna put him on soon later in the future.
Jeremy's a real cool guy. But he actually found that material from going through materials, doing the 10 tattoos. You got to have something very strong, and that won't, you know, obviously to mend metal, that won't mess up the paint. You know, some of the stuff he does on paint, some of the stuff's bare, but whatever. Not many people knew about it. It was a secret for a long time. You know, there was a select, probably 50 guys that had these and knew, and that no one wanted to tell anybody. And I said, you know, let's get this out here. But the problem with that stuff is it's $22 a foot. It's not cheap at all. So you get 3 tap downs out of a foot, and then you got to go get them milled. So I mean, unlike nylon and the root beer stuff, that's, you know, $4 a foot you can make, and it's totally different price range. So it was hard for anyone to come out in the industry with this stuff because it's so expensive, you know. But just like the titanium, I worked for months and sourced and found a place that I can buy. You know, if you buy 1,000 feet, you can get it for a certain price, and it ended up working out. So, and also there's also about 15 different types of peak. So don't think you can just type in peak and you're gonna get the right stuff. There's peak mixed with glass, with metal, with fiberglass. There's peak mixed with regular plastic. There's 100% pure peak. So there's different peaks you can get, and ours is the best one, which I won't say exactly which one that is, but
oh man,
of course not.
I'm gonna have to buy
you
them
know,
all.
I mean, everyone will have, you know, I seen, you know, a competitor just came out with our peak tips, and ours are $8.50, his are $20. That goes to show you. But I understand why they're $20 because the material's stupid expensive. But, you know,
Now, Jeremy,
I try to stay in the niche markets.
one of the other things with all your products now, are you selling them directly through Dent Technology, or do you have different distribution going on as well?
No, absolutely. We have A1 carries a lot of our stuff. Anson carries all of our stuff. Anson's will always have our stuff. They all have it on the
good
truck.
people over there too.
Oh, love them over there. I love Craig and them. Good guys. His new tabs are unbelievable.
You talking about the new root beer ones?
Yeah.
Everyone's talking. Yeah, the Tom Price.
Texas tea.
Do we have some of them, Mike?
They're called root beer tabs. There was a big. They're not Texas tea. They are root beer. So they were gonna call them Texas tea. Then they were gonna call them root beer. There was back, but they for sure it's a root beer tab. They got a little mug on their packaging of root beer and stuff like that. So. Anyway, we're coming out with new tabs as well, which are right here, which we can talk about later. But
952 Miralaga Way.
No, they'll be coming.
7993 Clio.
The only thing I've seen comparable, which ours I can't really compare to everyone because, you know, Black Plague's got the small little ones that work real good. Ours won't be that small, but for
put it up to the camera so I can see it.
It's right here's the tab, and you can see back here. It's where the magnet's pressed in. There's magnets at the top. So
don't forget to send me some pictures of that, Jeremy, so we can put that on.
I will. And basically, it's kind of a gooey, sticky, hard material. It's a different material, and what it is it pulls like the old Worth tabs we used to turn down. You know, it's kind of like that shape.
Yeah.
and whatever they made it out of, it was it was a complete mistake. We didn't say make it out of this, make it out of that. It's the company makes a gummy material anyway for their product. So they made it, and it was just by mistake that it pulls so hard that, you know.
Now, for our listeners, Jeremy, describe what it looks like, what that tab looks like. What color is it?
Basically, it's a blue tab. We're going to call it the Super Tab. It's got a little S on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys can see that very good.
Yeah.
But
looks like a little maze on the pattern.
It kind of looks like a little maze. But really, guys, that does nothing. For people, if you didn't know, the design on the bottom has nothing to do with how it sticks to the car. You can put whatever you want on there. It's all about the material, so they can be flat. But we just put that design on there just because, I guess.
What's the theory behind the magnet insert on the back?
The magnet insert basically is when let me grab.
Well, let me fill in for him there. It also works great as an aluminum panel checker, Vince.
Basically, this is built around our slide hammer. So if you see in our slide hammer, there's a little pin right there.
Okay.
See, this is all aluminum, so it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't stick. Okay, but we've inserted a pin down in there, so when you pull, your tab don't go flying off the car. It just sticks right in there every time.
Is that pretty good? Is that a pretty strong magnet? It really does keep that.
Yeah,
from popping.
we use rare earth magnets. They're the strongest.
Yeah.
So they ain't going nowhere. Now, some of the manufacturers already have aluminum heads. Some have steel. So if you have an aluminum one, it really wouldn't matter about the magnet. But it's just there because why wouldn't it be in there? It's just an extra. But these, I haven't seen anything pull as hard as these until those root beer ones came out, which are serious strength.
Now, here's the thing, guys. When you have them actually on your roof or something, and you're doing your glue pulling on the rails, and you're laying them on a roof, you're not going to have to worry about them rolling down the back of the car and falling off.
Well, no, here's the deal. And you can stick 4 or 5 to the rail while you're working on it.
So that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? You got a place they don't roll away from you. They used to do them with the knockdowns. They'd put a little magnet insert in the side of a knockdown, and that would keep the knockdown from rolling a mile away from you or down into. Mine always hit the windshield wiper. They always roll down, hit the windshield wiper and ramp off of it, and then perhaps go even further. So
that's why I always carry 6 of them. I just pick up another one on the cart and keep working.
And what I was saying earlier, Jeremy, is they're great panel checkers for aluminum when you're walking around a body shop.
That too.
I don't know how many times I'm hunting for my long magnet, the long extension magnet. I'm like, where is it? And it's always on the toolbox, and they blend in like a chameleon. You know what I mean? It's on the toolbox, and it's down, but I can walk past it 10 times. I can't even find it. So if I had a tray full of them, I got a tray full of aluminum panel checkers.
Exactly. But like you were saying, a lot of guys, they just stick 4 or 5 to the car instead of having a little bag or whatever, the deal there. You can just stick these right to the car, grab one, hit it, stick it back to the car, work on it.
Genius, man. I think it's genius.
And so there's no reason not to have it in there.
You know what, Jeremy? I hope everybody copies you on that part.
They will. Don't worry about that. But what I'm going to do is, because the tab business there's so many of them, and I can sit here and tell you, it pulls so hard all day, and I can do tests and this, that, and the other. What I'm going to end up doing is, I'm going to end up, when these come out, which is very, very soon, I'm going to be getting everyone's email address, and basically whoever emails me, I'm just going to send them a free one, and then they can do their testing themselves, and and the word of mouth will get around.
There you go.
Because, like I said, we can sit here and talk about how hard they pull all day, but until they're in your hands.
Say that again, Jeremy, one more time for our listeners. What did you just say?
I said, okay, so basically it's too hard to compete, or try to. I could sit here all day and tell you guys how hard they pull and what they're going to do and this, that, and the other, but instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get your email address, and if you email us, we're going to just send you one for free, and that way you can try it yourself, and you ain't got to pay any money. You can.
What's that email address?
What email address should they email me at?
Yeah.
Well, you can. I don't know about that yet.
Well, why don't you, when you're ready,
my girl get mad at me. She'll be like, no.
When you're ready, when you're ready to announce that email address, let me know. We'll put it on the blog and put that out for you.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll be the first, and we're also going to be giving away some other free stuff today for everyone who listened to the show. So we'll talk about that here.
Again, you guys check you listeners out there, make sure you subscribe to us. We will be making some announcements. Please check PDRTooltime.com. Check out Jeremy Langton's interview, and we'll have all that information.
Yeah, because this stuff we're giving away today is going to be exclusively for the guys who listen to the show. So.
Whoa! Oh, there you go, John, and we're gonna set that up,
Oprah.
right?
Everyone gets something for free.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we could even set up a form that their information goes directly through you, but it could be on PDRTooltime.com. We can
add
the form to DentTrainer.com, and that'll just get our entire audience, whoever's listening to the show, can. And speaking of that, you guys who are out there who are loving our show, please go to iTunes, give us a rating, give us an honest review. I mean, this helps us out in these search engines, and it'd just be really nice to hear some support. I mean, I'm hearing everything out there online, people saying they're loving what we do. Just did a Periscope. Everybody's loving hearing it. Take 2 minutes to write us a review. We'd appreciate it, and that just makes our job so much nicer to get that feedback, and it's just like when somebody gives you a Google review for your business. You're just so happy, you love it, you remember that customer. I mean, that's the way we would appreciate it.
That's how you got to do it.
Yep.
Back to his question. A1, Anson, PDR Tool Warehouse, the new one out of Colorado, Mark Circuses. They all hold our stuff. I didn't get to finish answering Vinny's question, so.
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect.
Cool. Hey,
Thanks, Jeremy.
Jeremy sent me his titanium hammer, and I just want to briefly say, now I've been able to use it for a couple weeks, and I've actually, for the first time, put away my go-to hammer, and this is in my tool belt now. And
can we get some applause for that?
Yeah. So what's nice about his hammer that I don't think anybody else can do is he sent it to me. It was extra long, and then he shared how you can cut it down and customize the size. And
I don't believe you. I need one. I don't believe you by the size.
And so I cut mine down. It's like I think I cut it down to 21 inches, and that's something I don't think anybody else's hammers does. First off, but then I weighed it. I weighed it against my go-to hammer was the aluminum hammer from Dent, and it was 6 ounces, and this weighed in at 4 ounces. So
nice.
A little bit lighter, which is better for you for your forearms, for forearm fatigue and just carpal tunnel and all that other bad stuff that goes along with what we do for a living. And I've got to say, I just loving this thing.
Send me a picture of that too, because we need to show what you're talking about.
I did a little video of it, and I sent that to you.
Okay, cool.
So we'll put that on the website.
Nice.
Jeremy.
Dude, Jeremy, you like all over the place on stuff. You got this and you got that, I don't know how you're like me in certain ways. There.
So what we're doing with that hammer, actually, since Daniel likes it, we sell a lot of hammers, and it's just a different hammer.
How much is that hammer, by the way?
The hammer's $150, and the difference between ours is it's I'll show you one of the new ones right here. This is all titanium gold anodized.
You listeners are just missing out right here.
With the red, this is all gold anodized with the red carbon fiber. We have new ones coming out, but basically they're $150, and it's real twill weave Kevlar carbon fiber, so it's very, very strong. Of course, it's gonna break if you try to break it
or break it against the hood.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, no one's gonna do that. So we did have one of them broke. We did have one break, and I asked the guy. I said, "How did it break?" And he said that he broke it over his knee just to see if he could break it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that happens. But whoever's listening to the show today, I can't discount the hammers because of vendors and stuff already selling them at a certain price. But what we're gonna do is work something out just for the guys who listen to the show. Within the next 3 days, you call in, buy one of our hammers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 free sets of ratchet straps which these are actually the nice ratchet straps too. They're really high quality. I actually like them a little better because other than the Ratchet brand, they have, I don't know if you can see this deal that sticks out right here.
Yeah.
That releases it. Well, it sticks out. Sometimes the Ratchet brands, you got to stick something in there and unhook it to, release it. So these are really nice. I'm going to send you 2 sets of these. I'm going to send you one of our edge tools. It's not going to have a handle in it because the handles are way too expensive to be put in for free for everybody. But you can put any 5/16, anything you want in here. And I don't know if you guys have seen our edge tool yet. Shane came out with something that's real nice, works a little easier, but these still serve their purpose in many instances.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to give you one of our wedgies. So if you order
I
our
love that wedgie.
you're going to get a wedgie. You're going to get a door tool.
What is that? Wait, hold on. A wedgie. What is that? Just a little little windshield guard?
When they grab your underwear from
for the
back,
braces,
yank it real hard,
What?
So what this does is this basically, it's made for mainly hail, but you can use it on deck lids and hoods as well. But basically, it extends the brace. So if you have a dent halfway under a brace and halfway outside of a brace, instead of using the tool and a whale tail,
I see a video on that.
It's in there, and you can work a whale tail right off of this, anywhere you want. So it's a great little tool. People use them all the time, and it basically gets rid of having to have a real fat, wide whale tail. That's the same difference.
Got it. I didn't know that. That
thing works great, Mike.
I freaking learn something new every time,
Mike.
man.
He gave you that for free at MT last year.
Yeah, Mike.
I did not see that, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was standing right next to you.
I did not see that, dude.
Anyway, yeah, this is a wedgie. We sell these, and it's a great little tool, and it's got the stoppers right here. Also, sometimes with loose braces, you can stick this up under there, and I put these 2 tips right here under the loose brace, and it'll tighten it up so you can work a dent, as well as oil canning dents. You can shove this under a brace, and it'll hold it up while you tap it down. It has a lot of cool little.
So Jeremy, tell the listeners about describe the dimensions of that. What's it look like?
Basically, like you said, it looks like a mini window shield. It's exactly what it looks like. It's 7 inches long, and it goes through a point, so it'll go through glue and stuff like that under braces. And then it's got 2 little notches where it stops.
Stops on the brace.
It stops on the brace, and then basically it extends the brace so you can stick a little whale tail in there and work that whole dent. And it's just a cool, neat little idea that. You're not gonna use it every day, but when you use it, you'll be like, man, I'm glad I had that.
It's great.
Especially on like a big nasty dent. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Where you really need that control, and it's 50-50.
Yeah,
that's what
and
we talk about. Everybody hates them dents. It's 50% in that brace, 50% out that brace. It's like, what do I do? Do I grab a rod? Do I grab a whale tail?
Do I got a rod, and then I got to work both?
And if it's a big oil can dent, I could see this being the stability needed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And another thing I find guys do, like under hoods, say you got a dent, it's in an open area right by a brace. Well, you don't want to have to go grab a hook and a rod and all that. You can just shove this in there, use your whale tail on it, and you're off on your way. So
yeah, I always like it that you're going to give everybody a free wedgie.
Everyone gets free wedgies from Jay.
So
all right.
Let me ask you this question: have any of you guys had a wedgie when you were in school so bad that your underwear ripped, and then they wrapped it around like all the way over your head and like around your neck?
Hung on the doorknob.
Then my skid mark was showing. So, hey, Jeremy. So I think that's pretty much wraps it up, man. You're freaking all over the place.
Hold on. Do you got anything else new?
Yeah, I do. I want to tell you guys
well, jeez, man. Okay.
All right.
More.
We got our new tabs. We got our new tabs coming out. We're also going to have some new glue coming out, which everyone's got glue too. You'll probably get a couple of sticks of that with the tab, just so you can.
What color?
It's green. It's called Kryptonite with the super tabs.
Oh.
No,
Superman
Superman's
and
DC. He's the strongest of them all. You know that. We got new hand tools coming out. Adjustable hand tools. You guys seen our old Sonic tools with reversible handles? We got brand new ones coming out. Carbon fiber handles. Some awesome hardened steel. I'm not gonna tell you what exact kind, but there are some nice tools. Very nice, and they're gonna be at a very reasonable price. We got the Gorilla bars coming out. Can I show you guys that real quick? I don't know.
Yeah.
you guys seen the periscope. Not many people seen the periscope.
I was
Hold
going to
on.
ask you about that. Yeah, he's got a really
Hey,
cool
Mike, did we
thing.
go over what he was gonna do with the moonlights and the people who had the other moonlights and all that stuff?
This is my favorite new tool out right here. So what it
Oh,
is,
no.
it hangs behind the car for as for doing hail from the back on hatches, okay? Or you can hang it for leverage
Nice.
anywhere you want. But what happens is the chains are on springs.
Ah, that is
So
so
these
cool,
pull
dude.
out wherever you want. Okay, so if you want to hook it right here, that chain links right
That
there.
is really cool, Jeremy.
So if you want to stick it back in here and just link it right here, it'll link right here. And when you're done, everything sucks back up into nothing. Well, this one's linked up. Everything
That's
sucks
gonna be a
back
big
in.
one for the hail techs
So
out there.
it's very heavy duty, very nice, very high quality. And it's just like our old ones, but like I said, there's a pin right here in the middle that the springs are attached to. And then the chains, basically they pull out to here, and that's all the room you'd ever need. I mean, it's almost over a foot.
So
And then everything sucks back in.
So basically, that's awesome. So basically, what I'm telling our listeners is that on each end, you have a spring-loaded chain that can spring out and the notch right above it where you can pull it and set it to whatever length of the chain you want or height.
And that
Right.
is when you
And
have
so,
the
yeah, I
headliner
guess-
dropped. For everybody, that's when you have the headliner dropped in the SUV. You have the back hatch off, and you need a leverage bar that goes all the way across. So essentially what Jeremy has here is a really cool-looking fat bar that has adjustable chain that comes out and can be snapped into place, which is phenomenal.
Right,
And that's a
and basically
great idea.
everything's internal. So packing it and just everything about it's great. I mean, it's really nice. And I mean, again, it's just a very solid product. There's really nothing that can go wrong. It's just chains hooking onto there. But like I said, instead of chains dangling everywhere, straps everywhere, this is just so slimline and so, so
and the way
nice.
that the chain retracts back into the
bar.
the bar itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that looks like that would hold up like your body weight. You
Oh,
could be doing pull-ups on that thing in between jobs.
I got pictures. We're gonna put a deal on a periscope where I can swing from it and hang from it. It's super stout. So
Hey, Jeremy, got a question for you. To go off of what you were talking about earlier, what incentive are the individuals who bought your original Moonlight going to have when they upgrade to this next model? I've noticed that you said there was some sort of incentive or some sort of deal you were going to offer.
okay,
some of the
so
folks.
basically, yeah, I'm offering. Okay, I got to be careful on how I put this. Basically, anybody who bought a Moonlight, and there's some people that, like I said, are still using the Moonlight to this day and still love it. There's some people that got it
Right.
immediately and weren't happy. So for those people that were in contact with me, they know who they are. We've been in contact. I'm working out a program where I can basically upgrade their light. Now, I don't know exactly how that's going to be yet. If they're going to pay shipping and a fee for this or that, but they're going to be able to get a very, very, very good deal on their Moonlight. And it's going to be kind of both. There's going to be one where they can ship it back and get one, or they can keep it and get another one to use as well. So we haven't got those exactly figured out because that's kind of a fine line on how we have to do that. I can't have 200 people sending it. You know what I mean? You got to work it right. But people know who liked the light, and people know who had a problem in the beginning. And so, but basically everyone who bought a light and wants to call and talk to me, we're going to work out something. But it will be on a base-to-base situation. It'll be on different, if one's just completely torn up and they've been using it for a year and it's horrible, it's going to be a different situation than the guy who opened it. It didn't go on his stand. He put it right back in the bag and never used it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, because the guy that used it, he made money off of it.
Right. And that's why I got
That's
some
not
guys,
fair.
they send
That's
it
just not
back and
fair.
I'm like, well, you've been using this for I mean, I can tell you've been, how much money, so
Right.
we got to work it to where I can tell when the guy said, nah, boom. So, but either way, we're going to work with you. The guy that has been using it for a long time, I want to work with him too, because I want him to have another one, and I want to get him out there.
That's
So-
nice.
And
Dude.
just a heads up, yeah, that's great. Hey, and Maria had a question from Periscope as well. She wanted me to ask you, how is the married life?
Maria, I love Maria, and I
Yeah.
like John down there. They're good people. I don't know how many of you guys order from A1 or Anson or ever talk to these guys, but I'm talking really good people. But the married life, guys, is tough.
Shoot.
It's
We
tough.
don't know anything about that.
I mean, I think, is everyone here married?
Yes.
Because I'm just recently married. That's why she's asking.
She's not Asian, is she?
No, not yet. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Don't marry a Filipino, man.
The problem is, there's no problem. I love it, but it's hard because I'm gone all the time. This last year I spent chasing, I had to make a lot of money to spend a lot of money to come back and make these lights and make everyone happy, So I've been away from her for a long time.
So Jeremy, are we going to see you at MTE next year?
Oh, you are going to see us at MTE. Not only see us, you're going to know we're there for a fact. We're going to have a few booths. We're going to have some cool new tools, and we are going to come very, very strong. So you guys will be hearing about us shortly on some other stuff, and you guys are obviously be seeing the feedback on all the stuff coming out. Cool. But we're not going anywhere. If anything, we're excelling to the top. I want to be way up there when it's all said and done. We've all put in a lot of hard work, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So.
Well,
Great.
Jeremy, I love your forward thinking and ingenuity with everything you're coming out with, and I know in the future you're going to be coming out with some really cool stuff too. So I hope we reserve the right to have you back on here a few times.
Oh, absolutely. And I'd like to get your guys's. Do you guys have one main hub? You guys are all in different places, right?
Well, you can always
all over
email.
the country.
You can always email us.
I mean, I'd like to, we can talk about it later, but I want to get you guys a package, get you guys the first ones, obviously, out here. This is going to be the new big show to listen to, guys. This is going to have all the new tools and all the cool stuff on this. The viewers out there, I would be tuning into this show.
Well, that's what it is.
Know what's out there.
Yeah, we're going to make it exciting. That's the whole thing. We want to bring it to you guys first live.
And for our listeners out there, man, we've got some really exciting interviews. We've got some tool makers that aren't part of the norm, and we're going to bring them to you and put them in the forefront.
And here's the thing, guys. I think the last time I checked, after our launch, we're only a week into launch, and we're over. Last time I checked, 1,500 downloads.
Wow,
on iTunes alone.
Yeah,
that's unheard of.
So yeah, I mean, people like I had a professional podcaster who I'm going to be on another guy's podcast on Friday. He's coming in. This guy's been doing podcasts for 14 years, and when I showed him our stats, he like his jaw dropped. He was like, "Wow, you guys!" He's like, he was like, "You guys just launched? You guys just did it?" And then he was like, well, normal, but you guys know everybody in your business, but most people it just trickles in. It doesn't happen like this. So we're loving it.
Well, guys want to know about the new stuff coming out. That's all there is to it. So there needs to be a show like this that has the new, everything new and not talking about, a bunch of crazy stuff, but focusing on tools and what's out there and what you should have and stuff like that. So
what I hope people gain from this episode, Jeremy, and listening to you speak is that when something goes wrong, you man up. Number one, you man up. You take the punishment, and then you take that as a learning experience. Everything that happens in our life, we got a seed of equal or greater learning experience that's attached to it, no matter what happens. So you got two choices. When something happens to you bad, you either crawl in a hole and die, or you basically use that as a stepping stone to excel to the next level. So that's what I hope our audience will gain.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to say to the audience is, anything you guys need, you could call me. Some guys, they go straight to social media and stuff like that. Call me. Anyone that has called me before knows I'll take care of you no matter what it takes. Anything. I'll make sure you're happy. So as long as you guys know, you can get a hold of me through Facebook. And like you said earlier, I might not respond in 5 minutes, but I'll be thinking about you, and I'll make sure you're taken care of. And that's my goal this year is to be number one in customer satisfaction and to make sure, if there is a problem, at least you guys know you can call me and I'll take care of it. Do not hesitate at all.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
I think most people would understand that, especially after hearing this. I mean, everyone gets messages, and it's unfortunately it's the now generation. They want it now. Because you're expected to have your phone next to you or your text message, but they have to respect, your own time too. So, but
Absolutely.
More importantly, Jeremy, again, I want to thank you very, very much for coming on to the show, explaining all the time.
Thank you guys for having me and giving me the opportunity to reach out there and to get at everyone instead of being on, Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They can speak my piece and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Things are going to change with our company and you guys are going to see it. Not that there's too many bad things already, but you know, you guys are going to see us coming up strong. So,
Well, you got some great products, and you know, they speak for themselves. So I think you're going to be fine going on forward, and can't wait to see you at MTE next year and see what everything else you got coming out.
Same here.
we'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll be
same
there
here,
for
dude.
sure.
We appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I was good to see all you guys.
Thanks, Jeremy.
And you guys, same. If you guys ever need anything, just call me, man. You know,
I need
whatever.
everything. What are you talking about?
That's
Just give
what I
it,
mean. I
give
need-
it all to me. I'll take it.
I'm in the giving mood today. Listen, guys, listen. You're getting 2 sets of ratchet straps, a door tool. I'll give you a tap down, whatever. Call me and order a hammer. Let's get these things out there because we can't. You don't know until you feel them in your hand and use them. You can listen to the next guy on Facebook. You can listen to this guy, listen to that guy, but put it in your hands. And I think it's like 60, $70 worth of stuff I'm giving away.
Well, you know, here's the deal. We have a thing out there to all the tool makers. We send a letter to you guys, and we don't want anything for free. We want it. If you want to send it to us, we'll try it out and we'll give it back to you if that's you guys are in their thing. But we do want to give an honest opinion. We don't want people to think that, well, just because you gave it to us doesn't mean that we're only going to say, oh, it's good.
First hands. I mean, I've sent stuff to John Hiley in the past. They tell you, I mean, it's not, they don't do this to get free tools to tell you they're cool. They give an honest opinion about them, and they let you know the truth.
We'll keep them, but you know, we don't have to. Is what he's saying.
They send these tools back when they're done.
Honest, man. I'll keep everybody's tools. Y'all can just keep sending it to me. But
I do want to see you guys
what
a box
Mike's
of
saying
tools
though.
so you guys can see everything we're talking about. It'll include a few of these tabs, and we'll get ready for maybe a show in a couple months where we can come out, show all this stuff and actually how it works and all that good stuff. So
Well, I think our hour's up there, Mikey.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy, thanks a lot again, man. Appreciate it, man.
No problem, guys.
Okay?
Thank you. And
We'll
I wish
see you
you guys
again.
all the best. And I'm going to be sharing this and getting everyone on this as well. So when can we plan on hearing this?
Probably by next week, not a week after tomorrow. So we're gonna throw that on. We're getting so busy with stuff. We actually might be doing 2 podcasts a week. So, but that's not for sure. We're still gonna make sure that could be possible, which looks very possible. So,
well, if you guys get any questions about this, you know, personally, and want to let me know or whatever, just let me know. So
cool,
We're all
Jeremy.
done, right, Mike?
No, not yet. But hey, listen, Jeremy, I'll let you go, man, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay.
All right, guys.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
See you, dude.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye. Hey guys, that was pretty good, man. What did you guys think about Jeremy? That's some pretty good stuff, man.
I didn't want to. I didn't want him to see him go. I wanted to ask him for some stuff.
Well, we are still recording because this is still going on, dude. So, but anyway,
I want to try those new tabs.
Yeah, those new
you
tabs.
know me, I had to step in and be like, we'll keep the tools though. You know, I'm not sending everything back.
Yeah, we are actually technically not into a full hour yet, guys, but we are just about wrapping it up pretty soon. But I think Jeremy showed some real class there, and to our listeners and you PDR Tool Time listeners, man, you guys are gonna have some real treats, man. You guys keep staying tuned, and like John said, please go to iTunes, rate us, give us some feedback, your honest feedback. What would you like to hear? Matter of fact, if you'd like to chime in, we're gonna be giving it away, free T-shirt, as long as you go on and give your voice message to our show on our website, pdrtooltime.com. Click on the voice, leave a voice message tab on the right. Say what you want to say, and we'll give you that free T-shirt if we air it on PDR Tooltime on our podcast. So,
and also, we got a free Cola Fria video out there right now. You just sign up for it, and bam, you get it immediately.
Yeah.
So, gosh, we've had hundreds of people sign up and check out that video. And we're getting a lot of good feedback about it. So that's on pdrtooltime.com as well.
Cool, guys. We're going to end it pretty soon, like right now, with one of our. We didn't have time. It got so much. And what's our tech tip? Yeah. What's our tech tip, Daniel?
You know, guys already know about this, but that today I was using it again, and I use this every day.
Using what?
And
what?
It is the Loom Tape, our Mercedes-Benz Loom Tape for wrapping your tips, and this stuff works so good.
Is that like high-end gaffer's tape?
Pretty much.
It's a really tight weave. They use it. Mercedes uses it to wrap their wires, but it's heat resistant, and that's the best thing about this. Why it blows away other tape is it's heat resistant, because I
motorcycle tanks.
put heat
And what's
Yeah,
the brand
motorcycle
name right there? Is
tanks.
that Tesla? Is that what's called Telsa?
Tessa.
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 TESAA
Look,
or TESA.
I found that
And-
stuff on eBay for $5.
What?
Yeah, you go to eBay and there's a guy who sells it, and it's German tape. Just punch in Mercedes-Benz wire loom tape on eBay, and $5-6 you got a roll of it.
And it's
Okay.
Tessa. It's not a knockoff.
Oh, you know, it's the same tape, same exact tape.
Cool.
Well,
So what's
maybe
it called,
we-
Daniel? Where can you get it, dude?
I got this from Keith Constantino.
Cool. Well, Keith Constantino. So you get it on his website. What is
Yep.
it? Black Plague PDR.
Oh,
tools?
apologize for that, guys. You know, I'm always the guy bringing up cheap stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Well, Dave Steen-
you know, I apologize.
Well,
He's probably gonna be mad at me. For
Hey,
saying
support
that.
another Dent guy.
You know,
Go in
'cause
there.
Everybody got quiet when I said that, and
Yeah.
but I'm like, man,
We can cut you out.
hey, look, I just try to, you know, hopefully guys just respect me for being, you know, real about something that I found. So.
Yeah. Dave sells it too with Edgy Tools.
Does
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
No,
But Dave
Actually, Keith said his stuff was different.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
thought it was the
Hey.
same.
It looks
role.
like it has the
Same
same
name.
logo as that one
Yeah.
that I got, but I
That's
don't know.
what I
Maybe
thought.
it is. Maybe I should try some of Keith's too and check it out.
all right, guys. Hey, listen, we are going to be out of here, guys.
And
Trying to save
remember-
yourself, John, huh?
and always
Yeah.
remember, level up your team.
Level up your tools, guys. I'm
Level
Mike
up.
Toledo.
Join the revolution.
Doing for Daniel Grom, John Hiley, and Vince D'Alessandro. Take care, guys.